Hi, my name's Maddie.
And my name's Alyssa.
And we're here to talk to you about non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
Non-Hodgkin lymphoma occurs when your body produces too many lymphocytes, which are a type of white blood cell that helps to fight infections.
This oversupply of white blood cells crowds in the lymph nodes, causing them to swell and become cancerous.
This uncontrolled mitosis of lymphocytes is what categorizes non-Hodgkin lymphoma as a type of cancer. So you may be asking yourself, what are lymph nodes?
Lymph nodes are located throughout the body and are an important part of our immune system. Each one of them corresponds to a particular region of the body and reflects abnormalities in that region when they are enlarged or swollen.
So what causes this disease?
Normally, a lymphocyte dies after fighting an infection or a foreign invader in the body. When there is a mutation in the DNA of the lymphocytes, the BCL2 oncogene is turned on. This changes the apoptosis or programmed cell death of the lymphocyte. Because of this, the cells that can't or won't die crowd in the lymph nodes, causing them to swell and become cancerous.
So now that you know what non-Hodgkin lymphoma is, you're probably wondering if you are at risk. Well, the risk increases with age. This disease is most common in individuals over the age of 60.
Also, if your immune system is or was weakened, those include people who have autoimmune diseases such as lupus, those who have taken medications which repress your immune system, such as those who have had organ transplants, and those who have had recent chemotherapy or radiotherapy for a previous cancer.
Bacteria and viruses also increase your risk of getting this disease. Having something like HIV or Epstein-Barr virus greatly increase your risk because your body is trying to fight these infections, and so your lymphocytes might be altered because of it. Also, if you are ever exposed to human T-cell lymphotropic virus, then your risk is also increased because this is a retroactive virus that is directly linked to the formation of lymphoma.
Chemicals such as weed killers and pesticides are also considered to be linked to non-Hodgkin lymphoma. This says that they cause a mutation, but it isn't still being confirmed and more research has to be done.
And while lymphoma isn't considered to be genetic, your risk of getting the cancer increases greatly if a close family member has it. There are also different stages of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Stage 1 is when one group of lymph nodes is affected either above or below the diaphragm. Stage 2 is when two groups of lymph nodes are affected either above or below the diaphragm. Stage 3 is when lymph nodes are affected on both sides of the diaphragm. And stage 4 is when the inflammation spreads outside the lymphatic system or into bone marrow.
Okay, so now you know what non-Hodgkin lymphoma is and what causes it. Let's check in with 3 different patients with different forms of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. 1 with high-grade non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and 2 with low-grade non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
So how are you feeling today?
Well, I woke up one morning and my neck felt all swollen. And
You know, I've been very itchy lately. Like, I haven't seen any rashes or anything, but it's just been like a constant itching.
I also can't seem to eat a full meal anymore. I always get full after eating just a small amount of food. Well, I've lost a lot of weight recently. I mean, I'm not even on a diet. I found a few lumps inside, but they weren't painful. I also had a lot of chest pain.
And then I've been waking up like drenched in sweats. I looked it up. It's apparently called night sweats. But they also happen to me during the day too. And
I also lose my breath easily with very little movement or exercise. And
then I went to the doctor a few weeks ago and he said I was anemic and I had a low red blood cell count.
I can't seem to get rid of my cold. I also have been suffering from fatigue recently, like not just a little tiredness like how teenagers are, but like extreme exhaustion all the time. Is this treatable?
Well, you have low-grade stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. This means that the cells are dividing slowly. So the best treatment option for you is radiotherapy. This treatment is basically emitting high-energy X-rays to the specific areas of the cancerous cells.
How does that work?
Well, because lymphoma cells are very receptive to the radiation, It actually works better than if you used it in like breast cancer cells or lung cancer cells, and there's actually a good chance that it can cure the lymphoma.
So what's wrong with me?
Well, you have high-grade non-Hodgkin lymphoma. It's seen as very aggressive, but because of this, it was caught in an early stage.
So what are my treatment options?
Well, almost always this is treated with a combination chemotherapy. CHOP or CHOP is commonly used, and it's a combination of 4 different medications.
So what does my outcome look like?
It's positive. Most people are cured using this method.
So Doc, what's wrong with me?
You have low-grade stage 4 non-Hodgkin lymphoma. So many different groups of lymph nodes are affected, and then it has also spread to your bone marrow.
Is that curable?
It's difficult to cure because of the advanced stage, but so we're going to focus on controlling it first.
All right, so what's the treatment?
One of the treatment options is RCPP, which is a combination chemotherapy, and then you can also use the other version of combination therapy called CHOP. Also, another treatment could be a stem cell transplant. So you have a better prognosis if you're under the age of 60. Your lymphoma is in either stage 1 or stage 2. It's only concentrated to your lymph nodes. And if you live an active lifestyle where you can also be independent.
The 5-year survival rate is 69%, and the 10-year survival rate is 59%.
There are a few ways to prevent non-Hodgkin lymphoma. One of the most important things is to avoid immune deficiencies. Because your lymph nodes aid in your immune system, any inflammation to them can put you at risk for getting non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
It's also important to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Being overweight or obese greatly increases your risk of getting this disease. In order to prevent this, you need to make sure that you have a low-fat, low red meat diet and get plenty of exercise.